All right, it's March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. I'm going to do this market review and show you some trades I did, go through the higher time frame, a little bit of economic events, uh, go over some trades that I did on bookmap. Now, look at here, here's the 17th. And why isn't it showing my oh well, that thing's not showing my chart right there. I mean well, anyway, we can kind of interpret it here from excuse me. We can kind of interpret this here from yesterday's. So where do we open? We opened high in range, little gap down. So we opened high in yesterday's range. Let's go to our metrics maestro playbook. So we have higher in range. So what's that telling us? When the market opens higher in range, the gap is closed 73% of the time. Naked VPOC is broken 66% of the time, and the 1.5x IBL is broken 38% of the time. Unable to maintain prices above the previous high. 2 IBL broken. When the market opens high in range and the IBL is broken, the gap stat jumps to 87% from 73%. The naked VPOC stat jumps to 77% from 66%, and the 1.5x IBL stat jumps to 66% from 38%. Half gap closed. When the market opens high in range and the half gap is closed, the gap stat jumps to 86% from 73%, and the naked VPOC stat jumps to 76% from 66%. Entry IBL. So going for IBC correction. Uh, that would be an IBC setup from the trader's lab. 1.5 IBL broken when the market opens high in range and the 1.5 IBL is broken. The gap stat jumps to 97% from 73%, and the naked VPOC stat jumps to 85%, 86%. Exit gap and naked VPOC stats fulfilled. Let's look at what kind of, so we had these look today. Look, there's Europe CPI. Looks like that's Russia. Interest rate decision. You have a variety of international events. You have the big banking crisis with all these banks going under, which is it's a pretty scary situation. And there's a lot of volatility going on because of that. And look at what we have. We have so we have those international events. We have consumer expectation, consumer sentiment. We have, okay, get the idea. See, we have a variety. Economic news. Typically, a lot of them there's not There's low volatility expected. Some of these moderate volatility expected. So now so here is what it looked like for the day. Let me bring this up real quick. So there's where we open. 39.8150. And so let's compare that. See that kind of shape there? So the idea is it's testing down further in that range towards where the naked VPOC was. And in this case, where was it? Okay, it was right there. So it's right there. It went down at first, and then it was like after the first hour, it was, you just want to get, for anybody into IB trades, you basically want to go down. There were chances to go down and up. So this, I would say, it's a downtrend, but then at some point, say that, once it got into this area, came down, tested here, then it became mean reversion. You see there's that VPOC there. You see here's your developing VPOC. So it became a mean reversion scenario there. And you can see it better here, but price shifted lower, so that's what we're looking at. So it's as far back overnight as I can get. You can see all of this buy absorption. Then it came down here. And these are just lines I'm using for structure. And then I also mark things like, this happened to be the ETH low. This is the IBL. So your initial balance low, initial balance high. And so we were way up here, 39.92. And on a higher time frame, you're looking at those numbers have been a target to the participants for a while. They've shown a lot of interest there. It's not a naked VPOC anymore. But up here, going up, we have 40.20, 450. We have 38.90 going down lower. and we've gotten these ones. So Wednesday's naked VPOC down here, 38.90.50, 38.90. You know, that could be where you're looking at going down. And then if it is going to go up, well, there's a few scenarios, there's a few areas. See right where these yellow lines are? You know, you have this structure here, you have this structure here. That could be an area where there could be resistance. We have no idea. Never do. But, you know, and here's 4,000. That's a number where a lot of stuff has happened previously at 4,000. So we see it here. You know, we see it all around here. And then going up, I mean, that just seems like a pretty juicy target right there. At 40, 24, 50. We see it right here. And then going further up, do we have there? That was already tagged on the way down, 40, 83, 75. That was already tagged. Or what are these doing? I don't know why they look like 2 days. Okay, I'll have to deal with that later. But anyway, you know, let's get into the good stuff here. Let's get into bookmap. Okay, so we got the idea from the higher time frame. What's up? So we have a lot of longs getting stops taken out. Then this sticks around here and mean reverts. Good portion of the day, pretty much all the day. You know, came down after the drop, and then you know, it's Friday, so it's a lot of participants are done when it gets down here, and you have a good bunch of back and forth, which, you know, can got to take what the market gives you, and there's some good opportunities. I'll go over some trades that I did, and maybe these lines will make more sense as I keep doing them. As you see what I'm looking at, I just try to mark down structures, or sometimes tags. You know, there's your initial balance low. You know, and these are all historical, and what happens in the market is random, but it's just a tool we try to use to get in alignment. And then really the order flow is what's happening right now. And, you know, and we're just trying to get in alignment. So let's dig into these. So now at this point, I thought that one was going to go down. See, that's my first one of the day there. So I thought that was going to go down. Nope, 52.50. I got tagged. Boom, boom, boom. So we've got that one. now I kind of forget how this went. I'm pretty sure this one I was anticipating here for this to be IB correction. I mean continuation. So we're expecting that to just continue with the trend. You know, the trend was down. And then for this one, let's see, okay, I think I remember. See this one, that one didn't work out. I think I was just taken out on that one. This one, you know, I clicked the button. Sometimes you click it, one of them fills later than the other one. So this is one order here. So that's one order. It went down to here, scale. So that's all one trade there. Went down to here, scaled. You know, I moved my stop to break even, and that one's a scratch. Not quite a scratch. I made a little profit, so that would have been 150. So that's a profit right there. Which you know, questionable. I probably, you know, see, this is where there was that IB continuation setup. So I probably should have stuck with that. This would have been a great entry point. When you see this structure and it's at the initial balance and you see this kind of a structure, it dips, it comes back, it retests it, suddenly like that. And this is very hard to get because we just don't know when it's happening. I'm going back in hindsight right now. We don't know when any of this is happening at the time. You know, we're trying to follow order flow and what recently happened in the past and the fractals going through the higher time frame. That's very hard, and that there's a lot of uncertainty. And I'm still working on trying to get those metrics right. I have statistics of, do I have an actual edge long term here or not? And I'm going to start putting together some spreadsheets. I need to improve my ability to use Excel for the, you know, I found a course on being able to do the data analytics. So that, I wish I had learned earlier that that's kind of a prerequisite. So if anybody's watching, it's, you know, you want to have your statistics, you better be able to use Excel. Apparently everybody can use it except me in the traders lab. So I'm the oddball. I can't use Excel. I can barely use it. Everything I've ever done for work and all that, they were pre-made charts. I mean, not charts, spreadsheets. So I was working on something that somebody else already made. I'm just filling in boxes or whatever. That's about the extent. I've made basic timesheets. That's about it. No data analytics on it. But anyway, that's a great initial balance continuation trade here because we know the higher time frame is saying down. And here we came underneath, we hit initial balance, it's testing this structure, it's going, you know, this is too expensive still. Came down, you know, but then at the time it could have been saying, you know, this is too expensive. But you know, and again, it's in hindsight. Look, the stop divergence. So this is a discount there, you know, it's on sale. oops, it's too expensive. We're not going to buy that anymore. Test down here, do we want it? And they're going, this is on sale again. I'm going to pick up some more. This is, that was this retest. It's saying, this was too expensive. We really don't want it now. And it's at this initial balance low where we have that trader's lab set up, the initial balance correction. No, not correction, initial balance continuation. And we started to head south down to where this liquidity is. We had a liquidity fill here. Let's zoom in there, see stop run into liquidity. And we have all this stuff going off. We've seen this. I tried to go through that on yesterday's video. So you have a stop run. Became smaller. See, that looks like they pulled before it really, a lot of this liquidity pulled before it came down here, but some of it got executed. And we had this liquidity down here at 41 and 40. And it looked like it didn't end up getting hit for a while. But you see you have a little bit of a structure there where this line is. And yet that looks like that is the start of where I put that line. But you can see how there's structure going on. You can see how it comes back, rests on top of it, resists it somewhat, and it's all just horseshoes. It's no precision with any of this. It's just things that I'm noticing. So anyway, where was it? We looked at that trade. Let's look at another one he did. So at this point, that stuff happened. I have this structure here, and I'm thinking, because of this, and then how it looked on that higher time frame, and it was starting to look like this. I was thinking, okay, it's time for this to go back up. We ended up in a mean reversion scenario there, but going back, I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, we have some support right here. And there wasn't a real strong stop divergence up there. We had support here also. That would have made a nice entry if I had recognized it. We have liquidity filling here. It dipped down to where that higher liquidity was, or very close to it. You've got support there. You've got your retail stops up here. But then I was going, this looks like it's long. And then look, 48.5. And I got clapped right here. So I'm out there. That looks like I was taken out. And then we've got another one. And then I immediately figured, this really does look like the boat is turning around. So I did a 2-lot here. I got a scale. And let's see where now see, this was poor execution on my part. Now breaking it down, why did I I still made a profit. I still made a decent profit. This is in simulation, of course. And you know, why wouldn't I take it at one of these targets? You've got initial balance low. You've got the overnight low, that ETHL. And those were two prime targets. Could make a better profit here. That's an extra 3 points. So it was poor planning on my part. When this is happening in the moment, there's a lot of things that you can overlook or misinterpret. But, you know, in hindsight, looking back, it's like, you know, I could, eventually I did raise my stop up to here to 50. Which I should have brought it back to this initial balance. That would have been better. Why would I take it up here? Well, what I should have looked at was look, sell liquidity, and it's hitting the ask. Got buyers and it's hitting the ask, and there's sell absorption. And we have stop divergence. 398, 18, 2 ones. Look, little numbers, big number, and a bunch of little numbers. And a whole bunch more little numbers. And then it comes back down. And they put this, then we got this liquidity here in this book. Oops, oh, I messed the thing up here. Let me try to situate this thing here. Where was I? So, okay, so all this stuff happened. So so that's a loss. So I had one loss here, and that one, I think I accidentally pushed the button wrong or something. I did have a little bit of screwy technical issue. It was trying to go onto Rhythmic instead of Tradeovate. It's like there was at least one of these in here as a technical error. I'm pretty sure that one I just straight up lost it. You know, that it was just not the right time to, and you don't know either. It's just, you know, that's a loss, just part of doing business. And this one, you know, there's my 2 lot. And looks like, did I get out there? No, no, that one's scaled. That's a scale. I had a great opportunity to take profit up here. I did not. I moved my stop up. See, I was anticipating, well, maybe that's the big turnaround, and it could go up to maybe around here. But you know, when you start to see that, a big stop run and some little numbers, you have stop divergence. And maybe that's just telling me that is a good time. Take the money and run, get the hell out of there. Because look, what would that be? That would be, I'd have a scale, and then I'd have 48, 51, that's 3 points. So I would have the scale plus from 47.75. That would be almost 10 points. Plus the scale, that's a pretty good haul for the day. if I planned it out like that. Even here, 53.25, that's not a bad haul for the day, plus the scale. So that's something for me to keep in mind when I'm going back reviewing this. Okay, let's look at some more. And you know, this came out pretty decent, I think. Um, okay, so I see this dip, and look right there. Look, so we have these stops. We have this is executing into the liquidity. We see these bubbles, they're coming in, they're doing their thing. We have a whole bunch of activity here. We have buy absorption, we have these sellers going into this bid liquidity. We have a whole bunch of them here. So that's 300 something, a stop run going into that. And it looks like it all transacted right here at 40. And that was one of the major ones from earlier. So I see that. It's not quite enough to get the ball rolling. You know, we see an iceberg here, 553. So that's, but I mean, compared to the 1097, I don't know exactly what to make of the icebergs. We see this start to happen after the liquidity here. Or you know what, that might be my, no, that's that color, that's my lowest price level. So this is an iceberg right here. So we've got a big iceberg going after this liquidity's hit. And you know, I see this, you know, look, up, retest, discount, stop divergence, up here, testing the structure under here. Now I had seen, okay, this is supporting right above this whole structure, above 40, where we had all of this happen, and we had the stop divergence, and we had the iceberg. And so I did a 2 lot here, a little nervous, you know, I was thinking, oh no, you know, and then it comes back up here. Because after this big move down, and we have multiple, look, fills, we have this go off like crazy. See, this is a big move. Now after that. So then I'm looking at this. Look, iceberg, stop divergence, liquidity fill, liquidity fill. We go back. So this is a big dip here. Tested underneath all this stuff. So then I see this. At this point, you know, what I'm looking at is a, you know, okay, here's this kind of a structure. You know, and I remember having my crosshairs like this. I'm going, okay, well this is looking like, you know, we're in mean reversion mode almost right here. No, I guess, see, the V pocket is still up here, so we weren't in mean reversion mode yet. So we're still thinking it's down. You know, but after these liquidity fills, I've been trying to watch these a lot. You know, and so there's 2 lots, 43.25. It's 46.25 I scaled. 43, 46. So that's a scale. And then I know there's retail stops up here. And why did I get out? Well, I got out because, you know, we know there's retail stops up here. There's VWAP, there's the mid. When I saw that VPOC shift, I clicked the mouse. By the time everything registered, I'm out right here, 49. So 43 to 49, so that's a yield of 9 points right there. Look at, you've got 3 for the scale. Plus you've got 43.25 to 49, so 6. So you've got 9 points. That's not bad. And I had that previous one, which the real choice move here though was, you know, and I could kind of see it, but I was still, you know, just really kind of distracted because, you know, I have Discord up, I have a few different things up on my different screens. But, you know, anywhere up in here, you know, we know the trend's down. Look at how far it dropped. So previously it was 83.50. Now it's down to 49. Very strong sign price is accepting at lower levels. And we had this liquidity down here the whole time. So that would have been a perfect lineup. I could have been like, hey, this is a setup right here. We took retail trader stops out, get here, and go short down towards the liquidity. Maybe these lines could be somewhere, you know, trail your stop, you know, trail, gets below here, trail, and see how far it can go. Even if you trailed here, you're going to get stopped out here. And if you were somewhere executed up here, that's not bad. You know, that's still, what is that, 750, 44. So you'd have that plus the scale. So that would be another decent one. Probably make another 300 on a 2 lot there or more. What do you have right here? See, now it's sitting on top of this structure. See, we have this structure, look, kind of like a head and shoulders, and then we went up. This is another really nice setup. Value area low. See, we dipped. Here's the value area low, and that's telling you, you know, 70% of the volume's going to end up between the value area high and low. So look, here's your value area low. No, this might be a previous one actually. Here's developing value area low. You know, and that may have been. I need to keep track of it better, but you know, it was something I was thinking about. When I was trying to do trades. I was like, okay, here's developing value area low, and it's coming back up. And look at this here. So test, got a structure where it tests, up, up. This would have been a really nice move down. And if you can recognize, okay, we are now in mean reversion mode after this shift. Or actually, you don't know that until you're up to here. You don't know that. Here's that. And down, way down here is that. Or even down here. you'd be like, okay, this is going from here to here now. It's a D-shaped, delta D-shaped profile. We have that developing value area high. Look at that head and shoulder, almost, not quite, that kind of shape. It resembles it a little, head and shoulders. It kind of made a head and shoulders type of a pattern, if that means anything. It's like looking at clouds. What else? There's, maybe this is some kind of a setup. I need to go back through the Traders Lab PDFs, but here's the low of the day. You have a stop run into the low. Very sharply went up fast. Very fast. That could be very quick 10 points. And what do you have here? Look, more liquidity fills. So that's something I'm noticing a lot. Liquidity fills, icebergs. Look, transacted 104. Icebergs. You have an iceberg here. You zoom out, so you have the stop run into the liquidity with the buy absorption, with the icebergs. You have this structure here, testing above this structure here and holding. Look, there it tests right there. And it's holding above that high volume node where all this structure is. Here's another high volume node where this whole structure here is. Then we're going into the territory of where the VPOC is. Now we're going up to here. See, that would have, I mean, if you're able to see it in time, this happened very fast. Like 5110. So you have 20 seconds or something to recognize that, pull the trigger before it rocket ship thing just went. Look, 52 minutes and 3 seconds. 53. Well, you have a little time there, but it was fast. It was definitely fast. And had I been able to recognize that here, and that being a setup, and it's the low, and liquidity fill, stop run, you have an iceberg. We don't know what the iceberg is doing, what the participant is. And that's quite a bit of volume there, 628 going into liquidity after a previous liquidity fill. Boom. Look at that, 33 to 46. That alone would be an excellent day. So there's another example. We've got this structure from earlier. And you have your initial balance low is up there. But you can see how stuff kind of can resist and support within these lines. And I'm just drawing them as I see the structures form within the order flow. What we're seeing. You can zoom out, you can kind of see the structure. And then everything held. So we have this volume node here. And this volume node here. See, this one came up, it tested down into this volume. Is going, there's a discount. We see a lot of these structures, here's this volume node. Tests up here, makes a volume node, but it doesn't want to go higher. There's a liquidity fill. Comes back down into this whole structure, this sandwich right here. And then we have that testing, and there were retail stops all up in here. Stop divergence, 2250, 635, 133. Goes back down. We've taken out a lot of retail stops here. Probably not all of them. But now it's mean reversion mode, so you have them on both sides. Look, there's another stop run. There's another stop run. You have little stop runs. They're not huge. Look, there's a stop run. Could it be a stop run? There's 434, there's 386. You have participants kind of sandwiched in here on both sides. You see how they're getting sandwiched in kind of between these two areas. And you have a lot of opportunities if you understand the context. Then you have your initial balance low. You have a lot of opportunities, real good ones, to get in some initial balance low. There's even a couple of them for doing an IBF trade. That was probably too fast to even recognize it at the time. Well, right there. Look at that. See, there's a structure. Came down. Stop run and liquidity fills, icebergs. Comes up. Tests it. You've got support. This happened really fast. But, maybe you get in over here or something. But then that looks suspicious because you're going, well, liquidity fill on the ask. But kind of like how we saw that rocket ship yesterday where it just kept popping off stop runs into liquidity and it kept going and going. Then, boom, it just... An R mid. I think some of these labels, because it's getting later in the evening now. It's 8:23 right now, so I've left this open for a long time after. Market close was what 7 hours, 6-7 hours ago. So I think some of these labels have shifted around. That initial balance should be in the right spot. But I might as well flash the statistics for yesterday. Can I bring this up here? Oh, I can't bring the thing up. And not while I have this video recording going. Because I have to log back in. So. Well, I think this has been a decent review. I've been going on for a while now. This is 49 minutes. So I reviewed a lot of my own trades, why I did them, why maybe I should have done some other things. Maybe I should have taken profit at certain areas and I left money on the table. And it's really hard. I'm going back in hindsight. I should do some of these live. But I'm typically, I'm a bookmap Discord moderator. I'm trying to learn as much as I can from the more experienced traders in the bookmap community. I'm watching their streams. Bruce, Tom B, Scott, Algo Boys, Doug. And if you guys want to see them, then Anybody not from the bookmap Discord community, just go to bookmap.com, join the bookmap Discord chat. You'll see a link right on the front page, and here's the schedule for all the streaming you have going on. The stuff is just absolutely amazing. Here's the schedule East Coast time, so I'll flash that on there. And oh, here's a good picture I have from yesterday. Here it is, really dissected down. Look at that, fractions of a second. And this was the highest of yesterday, I think, at 4,000. And see, we have a bunch of cell absorptions going on. Look, big volume bubble, smaller, smaller, little tiny bubble. There's kind of its last breaths before it runs out of oxygen. And look at all these cell absorptions going on. And it looks like it's transacting here. And then look, it goes from orange to black again. And here it is zoomed out. Oh no, that's not it. Dang, I thought I had one. Okay, well I missed that one, so. Well, and then here, like I said, I've been offline. I've had this bookmap open since close. So, well, it's starting to get late. It's 8:30, getting kind of close to my bedtime. So, even though it is a Friday, but I like to try to get consistent. I've been up for a long time now, so I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and I'll see all of you again next week.